Right, so what we're going to do a test with the 3 cameras, and what I'm intending to do is to have the A7R2, the A9 and the A7 III working at the same time doing 4K 100 megabits a second, and I want to see how long it takes for them to actually come up with the warning, heat warning, and also then to shut down after that, and that's the test that we're actually going to do. I have put on the extended temperature range where you can say make it go longer to shut down. Now the temperature at the moment is around about 30 degrees Celsius here, so it is really warm today, and I'm going to put them in direct sunlight. So we'll see how that test goes now. Now remember, we're shooting 4K at this point, so we'll do that now. Okay everyone, so what I'm going to do a test here today, and I'm going to do a test now, and you can see here that, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see this, but the temperature is 29.8 degrees Celsius, so it actually is really hot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set a timer, and then I'm going to turn these cameras on, and then we'll see how long they actually last without overheating. So I've got the A7R2, I've got the A9, and I've got the A7 III here, all on 4K, 100 megabits. So we're just going to see how they go. So I'm going to turn each camera on. I've got the screens out to make sure that, you know, we can a bit cooling on there, and I'm going to press record on each one of these cameras. I'll press record first. And we'll just see how long they go, and I'll press start and we'll see what happens. There we go. So what's that? 25:20. Okay, so going over those figures, the heat warning came on for the A7R2 at 14:26 minutes, around that roughly, and it actually shut down at 14:52. So it shut down fairly quickly after that heat warning came on. So that gives you an idea of how the A7R2 will perform in the heat. Now the A7 III, the heat warning came on at 22 minutes roughly, and then it actually shut down at 25, nearly 26 minutes. So it shut down at 26 minutes, and the A9 actually was almost identical. So it seems like the A9 and the A7 III are basically exactly the same with their heat profiles and how much heat that they can take. Now having said that, does that worry me? No, it doesn't, to be honest, because they were shooting in 4K at 100 megabits per second. When I'm shooting weddings or shooting anything that probably would go anywhere near that amount of time, I'm always shooting 1080p. And I have done a test earlier today with the 1080p, and I gave up at an hour and a half, and they just don't shut down. So that's the thing with these cameras. If you're shooting 1080p, you're not going to have an issue. Well, I certainly didn't, and I could basically probably run those all day. And that's the way that I tend to work with these cameras. I'm actually quite comfortable with just shooting. Remember, my shooting style, and most people that do shoot with these cameras, if they're shooting 4K, are only shooting a few seconds for each clip. They're not running these things for extreme lengths of time. Now remember, I deliberately put these in really direct sun, and it is very hot today, and that's what I expected them to do, was to turn off about that time. And that's the reason why, to be honest, I just don't do it. If you do need that type of result where you need it to continuously go without shutting down, you need something like the GH5, which won't shut down in long periods of having 4K, and I've never had that shut down in any temperatures. That's what you've got to do if you're thinking about that. But like I said, just remember, these cameras are very small, their bodies are very small, and you have to work around these issues. Is that a big problem for me? No, it's not, because I know for a fact I'm quite happy that it's going for around that 25 minutes, which is what it gave me. And like I said, I'm not going to be running 4K for that amount of time. And also, if it probably was going to be even a bit more of an issue, you could, well, definitely out of the sun it would go a lot longer. Which was proven in another video where it went over an hour. I wanted to do this under conditions like now, like in our summer here in Australia, where it's very hot, and you can see what will happen. So yes, they do suffer from overheating after a period of time, but I honestly don't think that's an issue if they'll go for 25 minutes. I'm actually surprised that the A7 III lasted as long as the A9 when you look at the price differences in those cameras. But clearly, like I said, direct sun, I was touching the cameras and they were really hot to touch. Even the lenses were hot because they were in direct sunlight. So let me know what you think about that down below in the comments, and I'll obviously get back to you as soon as I can. So I'll see you all for the next video. Bye for now.